Peace, love, and light, everyone. I hope all is well. This is your girl, Serena Wills, and welcome to Literary Artistry with Serena Wills. So, I am a poet, a self-published author, and a publishing coach and a spoken word artist for those who don't know me. And today's segment, I am going to talk about how you can utilize writing prompts in your workshops. So, my other hat that I wear is I'm also a national board certified health and wellness coach. And I'm also an associate certified coach for the International Coaching Federation. So I love when I can blend in my love and passion for health and wellness with writing. So people may be asking, how can you do that? Um, it's also a way to make your workshops and classes very interactive. So this particular workshop, this is just a segment of a workshop I teach, is called Reclaiming Your Power, Finding Resilience in Challenging Times. The other name for it is Healing from a Job Loss in a Stressful Workplace. And I actually offered this workshop twice in June 2025, two different library systems, and they were both really well attended. Because these are very trying times, right? So this is a part of the workshop, and we're going to lead into the writing prompt. So this particular slide, I talk about what we can change and control in our situations and what we cannot change and control. And for those who are interested and would like to participate in the next workshop, like, ooh, that talks to me. You can go to my website. I'll share that later, and you can look up when I'm going to offer this again. I'm going to have to probably offer this workshop two or three more times this year. So we went through the things that we can change and control. And, one thing is our attitudes. We can change our attitude towards the situation, towards what we're going through. Um, how we cope with stress. And in this workshop, I talk about different stress reduction techniques, different ways you can handle stress, and how to do it within a moment's notice. I talk about deep breathing techniques, meditation. For those who are prayerful people, power of prayer, taking a break, getting up from your desk, so on and so forth. Our outlook on a situation, we can definitely control that. We can change it. Sometimes we have the negative, just things that are in our mind. There's a great book out there called Taming Your Gremlin, not Taming the Gremlin, Taming Your Gremlin. How to quiet the noise. Our mindsets, we can start to do a mind shift and really reset our mindsets. Try to think more positive, even in times like the ones we're living in. If you're without a job, and I created this workshop because of the times I was laid off, and I turned what I was going through into helping other people know that they can get through these times. And the one thing I had to do is I had to shift my mind and then tweak my mindset. What we eat, how we eat, what time we eat, we are allowed to indulge, but to do it in moderation. And of course, according to your doctor, don't say, oh, Coach Serena or author Serena said, no, 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 no. But look at what you eat, the time you eat. If you're one that says, hey, every time I wake up in the morning, middle of the night, I have acid reflux or heartburn, look at the time you're eating. And maybe you need to shift your time. How we deal with challenging people. Ooh. Um, the key word is how we deal with them. Okay, we can't change them necessarily, but how we deal with them, we can. Finding a new job. Yeah. Um, put limits on the times you're on LinkedIn, Indeed, Glassdoor, all those. it's really tiresome. Looking for a job is a full-time job and without pay. So you want to make sure you're instituting breaks and just giving yourself that self-care. Like, if one day you're like, I am highly triggered today by looking for a job, I'm stressed, I'm feeling anxious, then that might not be the day. You know, Try to reset, do some stress reduction, talk to a loved one, do what you need to do, and find that peace within. Finding a job within our purpose. So, not just saying I'm going to find a job to find it, I'm going to find a job that's within my purpose. And then some of the things we went through, what we cannot change, what we cannot control as much as we would like to. We can't change people. Okay. Much as we would love to flip a switch on some people and their attitudes, or if they're aggressive, or um, the list goes on. What we can change is how we deal with them. We can advocate and self-advocate for working for that job. Um, to say if I have a boss that's aggressive or someone that is just talking out of turn, often they're hard to deal with. We all, well, not all, but many people have a light about them, and we just pray that our light can shine on them. But the one thing we don't want people to do is to drain our light, okay? Physical environments that do not belong to us. So this means you're working in an office and you're like, gosh, I really want to paint the wall, or I wish I had a window, or can't do that. What we can do is, put pictures up if we can, or try to make our desk festive and something as a place of peace. But at, our home offices, and even if you're working out of your bedroom or kitchen, or and literally, I remember my son once had a teacher, and this was during the pandemic. He was teaching from the kitchen. Okay, and he had to do what he had to do, right? But he made that environment his. And others' attitudes. Again, we can be a positive light for others. We can exude positivity. And we just pray that they will shift and change their attitudes. We cannot change their attitudes. Okay. So, with this workshop, I then go on to the next slide, and it's called the Purge Bucket Exercise. I love this exercise that I've created. So, this is the first writing prompt. And this is how you can use writing prompts in your classes. And I hope that that slide that I went through helped somebody today. I wanted to specifically share a writing prompt example from this particular workshop because there are people out there that really are struggling. And I want you to know that you're not alone. So I just hope that that really sits with someone in a positive way. So this is how you could use it. I put imagery on my slides. Shout out to Pexels, PEXELS.com. Wonderful photographers on there that have great photography. So for this particular one, we went through identified triggers. This is a doozy, all right? My workshop's only but so long, but some people were able to start scratching the surface with identifying triggers. When does or did the event usually take place? Meetings, emails, text, Zoom, face-to-face interviews. You get what I'm saying. How do the triggers and emotions make us feel at work or while looking for a job? We could be totally by ourselves and start to feel a certain way because we're looking for a job. We're hitting the virtual pavement, or we're hitting the pavement literally, physically. We're looking for jobs, in person. Here's the writing prompt. Write out how you feel in a story format, a poem, a list, or a paragraph, whatever makes you most comfortable. This gives people the freedom and the creativity to get everything out of their system. And they could write it in a story. They could add characters. They could write it in a poem if they want to write a poem. When I say a list, that's actually a list could be two ways: an actual physical list, or there is a form of poetry list poem, where you literally write a list of words or a couple of words, and you write this long list. And the sentence could be 1 to 2 words per sentence or per line, whatever makes you most comfortable. And this is their time to start the purge so you can begin to heal from what is triggering you. So this is how you can integrate a writing prompt. And you see how I have writing prompt number 1. I actually have another writing prompt in this workshop. There are other workshops I teach. I teach poetry workshops and self-publishing workshops. Well, the self-publishing doesn't necessarily have writing prompts, but I teach poetry workshops. I teach other blended workshops that have health and wellness, where I can integrate writing with my health and wellness. So the goal is for this segment to say, wow, I'm a writer, I'm an author, and I can add in my writing, or having other people to write during a class I teach or a workshop or a meeting. It could be a meeting you have and say, we're going to have a writing prompt. And when they see that it's creative and they can write a story or a poem or a paragraph and make it their own, people really get creative. Okay. And then what we do next is we share. We have sharing time. And some people want to share, they're anxious to share, and some, it's optional. Some do not, and that's fine. I always make it optional, but I allow that time to share. Now, when you have a writing prompt, sharing time, and all this in your workshops, you need to do what I call a dry run. There's lots of people that call it a dry run, but you want to time your workshop. If you have a 2-hour workshop, you want to say, okay, the writing prompt could be 10 minutes, or it could be 5 minutes, or 7 minutes. And then you time it for the people. Say, okay, the time is now 8:40. You have 10 minutes. I'll check in at the 5-minute mark, the 1 minute, and then I'll return at 8:50. That's an example. But people love to share. People, when they share with one another, there are some who are in my workshops and say, at first I didn't want to share, but now I'm encouraged to share. And I really want to just thank you, for allowing us to have this opportunity to write. Because sometimes it's all in my mind, it's all in my head, and I need to get it out. And to get it out creatively really helps out a lot of people. Okay. So, writing prompts, use them for your workshops, your classes, your meetings. It really brings about a different, just a different feel to what you're presenting. And this is also something that people could do after the class or workshop or meeting. They say, I'm going to use this writing prompt when I'm done and whenever I feel stressed again. And that way you're now helping them beyond the class, the meeting, and the workshop. Okay, so that is my time today. That is a writing prompt example. Let me know if you want me to share other writing prompts with you all. I would love to, but would love to hear some feedback. If you want to find out more about who I am, what I offer, my books, as I am a poet, I have 4 published books. Number 5 is coming out soon. Feel free to go to my website, serenawills.com, SERENAWILLS.com. Since I did talk about my health and wellness coaching hat, that website is actually like my stage name and spoken word name, Divine Right, DIVINEWRYTE.com. And I'm across all social media platforms at Divine Right, DIVINEWRYTE. So use those writing prompts, put them in, and see how it goes. And hopefully you can use the one I share with you for yourself. And I'm hoping that this all helped you today. So that is my time for today. Thank you all for joining me. Take good care and bye for now.